Hello guys, I'm Fizzy, and I know what you're thinking. This is not career mode, this is not co-op. But don't worry guys, that is coming in the near future. I'm actually planning to record my first career mode episode soon after doing this commentary. Although the editing and commentary for that should still take a while. And then co-op will be starting next weekend with Orion L83. You know, assuming none of us get kidnapped or something in the meantime. But for now we have another online race on F1 2016 around Bahrain. Another social race organized on Apex Online Racing on the PC platform with a full grid of 22 cars taking part here for this race. Unlike last time at Baku, we did a short qualifying session this time, which is basically 18 minutes, just one session to set the grid. And as you can see, I qualified P6 for the grid here at Bahrain. So I'm gonna skip through the formation lap and let's just get right into the action here, as the car is now being placed by the AI on the grid spot. So I'm still in the position really that I'm, still getting used to the game, still trying to get up to speed and get used to all the new features and handling and all of that after not having played F1 games for nearly a year before this game came out. And of course, as always, driving with no assists, and as you can see, in the manor car. But luckily, car performance is set to equal, so that shouldn't give me any disadvantage. But now the red lights are coming on, and they're about to go out here for the Bahrain race. 29 laps even around here, and it's been a pretty okay-ish start, I think, to be honest. Few cars close down. There's a yellow flag back there actually. I think there's been a huge crash back there in the midfield. Someone spun it in the middle of the field and several cars out of the race, and we've actually managed to jump past the Desmond in the Ferrari through turn 1 there just by taking the inside tighter line in the shorter route through it. So we're up a position to P5 now in the race. We're right behind the beautiful Renault of Race Fanatic now going into turn 4. And you can see Tirana Tigger over there towards the front. Wycombs is in the race, and we got Tunsmiths 97 ahead as well in that Sauber. Tirana Tigger and Wycombs, of course, the two guys leading at the moment. Two of the very, very fastest guys I know of on the PC currently anyway. But so far so good for us. We managed to stay out of trouble in the first few corners, which we also did at Baku. But then towards the end of the first lap we had a huge incident that spun us around. So let's try to not have that this time. That would be ideal. You can see my tyre wear there from qualifying on the bottom right at the moment. A bit of wear on these super soft tires from qualifying. I think I kind of forgot that the tire qualifying in top 10, the tire wear would carry over to the race. So I did maybe a couple more laps than I really ideally should have in the session on these tires. But that's how it is. Can we complete the full lap then of racing before making contact with the car? That would be good, and an improvement on last time we did the social race, and it looks like we're about to do that, as we now only need to keep our foot in for the line. And there we go, lap 2 started, but Desmond's all over us actually. I looked back at started straight and he was nowhere, then suddenly he had used tons of slipstream to get up the inside before I even could react properly. So he's actually managed to regain that position back down to where we started, P6. Our teammates in the pits apparently. I can't remember who that was actually in this race. But yeah, definitely some guys towards the back of the field have had some problematic starts with some drama right off the line. You can see battling going on ahead, and Tirana Tigger the fastest lap now, even though Wycombs is still holding on to the lead. But we have a car close behind, AOR, God damn it, Grezu or something. Sorry if I said that wrong. I was thinking about going defensive there, but I felt he was just enough too far back for me to not need it really. So that is job done for now, and for the next couple of laps I managed to pull out nice few seconds on him, and Desmond's gone wide then on turn 4 on lap number 4. Desmond's gone wide, made a mistake, and we've managed to regain P5 in the race. But we're getting to the stage now, of course. You can see the tyre wear has increased massively from just 3 laps ago, and tyre wear is starting to become an issue now. I think lap 5 possibly, or lap 6 was my planned pit stop on these tyres. Going for a 2-stopper, I believe, was the default strategy here, as we lost the back end a little bit coming out of the very, very tricky turn 10. But Desmond luckily didn't get close enough to have a go. So we're now up 5 and catching up a little bit to Tunsmith in the Sauber. He's gone a little bit on the curve there, and he's braking very, very early. We nearly touched the back of him there. A little bit of a nervous moment. Getting a good run now. Could be opening up the door for a move, but tricky place to pass this. But he's gone off the apex a little bit, so can we get the momentum out of the corner? No, we had a tiny bit of oversteer again, which really affected our exit speed. So turn speed just about clinging on, but it seems like he really is starting to struggle with his tires. I am obviously as well, but he maybe just a little bit more, and Desmond's sitting behind just waiting for something to happen here. Oh, and again we're getting pretty close to Smith in the braking zone, and again oversteer. We cannot capitalize at the moment. We're getting close through the corners, but on the exits we just can't be patient enough than throttle at the moment, it seems, to get the run that we need. Let's try this time then, but again we have to lift off midway through because Smith was going slow on the exit. I didn't manage to turn out of the corner without lifting there, and now Desmond will be taking advantage with a much better run. He wasn't on the back foot like I was, and he might even try to take both of us out. No, Smith managed to get in just in front of him. So once again then Desmond passing us on the main straight. A little bit annoying because there were a few opportunities there for us to maybe get past Smith, but we never managed to get a good enough run out of any corner. So a little bit frustrating for us, but still very much in the mix, of course. Oh, and Desmond's lost it again through turn 4, this time a little bit further around the corner. But that again is that was back up to P5. So, wow, Desmond, having some issues. And speaking of issues, Tunf is now going even slower at the moment. We're towards the end of lap 6. Tyre wear getting pretty critical at this stage of the stint, and both of us really struggling. Smith going, a little bit slow. We're being reminded by the engineer to pit in this lap. Can we get enough slipstream to maybe have a go? No, Smith actually have a good straight line speed, it seems. But now, we tapped him! We had a tiny touch. He just went through the corners much slower than I expected, and both of us, it seems, are aiming for that pit lane. And how we lost an end plate, that is the crucial question there. Desmond carries on for another lap. I think we just might have got a bit of end plate damage there, which would be really annoying if we have, because that means they're going to change that whole front wing for that tiny bit of damage, which is going to cost a lot of time. Yeah, and there you see they have a new front wing ready. So the pits have normally would have been over by now. We can see Smith there driving out of the pits. Meanwhile, we are being fitted with a new front wing just from that tiny tap. Just getting so, a tiny bit too close to Smith through the final corner. That's annoying. So we're down to P9 then, P11 even, Jesus Christ, on the soft tires for this stint. Can't quite remember what the actual strategy plan was. I'm sure it was going on the mediums at some point as well. Probably on the next stint, I would imagine. Because obviously 2-stopper was the planned strategy. But now we're catching up to 2 cars. Actually, and Pedro there, I don't think he's pitted yet, so he's on really worn 8 laps old super soft tires. And Grizio looking to take advantage. He jumped me through my slow pit stop, of course, but he's on the slower tires, so Pedro's been forced wide then. On the final corner, we managed to cut back underneath, and I think he might just be going into pits as well, because 8 laps on the tires will not be working too well for him, and he has pitted indeed. Grizio, though, he's might be just becoming victim now to the slipstream and the DRS into turn 1. If you can make this stick, there we go. A little bit of squirminess on the exit as per usual, but we managed to keep it under control and get that position. So up to P7 now, after a few more cars have pitted as well. So now, at the start of lap 11, skipping forward a bit again, we have caught up to Mr. Alcon in the Williams, who I'm not quite sure what strategy is on. I might not have pitted yet, actually, considering it's on the soft tires, and I never saw him around me in the race on the first stint. So I feel like he might just, be on his first stint in the race and on more worn soft tires than me in that case. So let's see if we can make quick work of trying to get past him.
Rio has come into the pits. Rio in the pits now.
Going through this fast chicane, and he's feeling the need to go a bit defensive there. We can maybe get a nice little bit of exit with a much wider entry here, and we have a run on the outside potentially towards turn 9 and 10, and we try to hold it around the outside, but he's still trying to cling on the inside through turn 10. It's very close, and he's lost the car. He's lost the car into us there. He's made a mistake. He maybe lost a bit of grip on the traction zone. I think I left him enough room, to be honest, but that is a big blow for the race and more damage to the front wing. You can see orange in terms of the indicator on the right hand side of the front wing, and yellow on the left hand side. That's damage to both of the end plates. And Mr. Alcon now letting us back through, so clearly he felt that he was at fault for that incident, so at least fair play to him for letting us back through. Obviously you can understand if he did lose the back end through that corner with very worn soft tyres. That is something that does happen, and I did try to carry on for another lap with that damage, but it turns out it just was really, really shit to drive with both end plates kind of half missing. I lost like 3 seconds on that next lap to compared to my personal best, so kind of be forced onto a 3-stop strategy instead, which is not ideal. And again we're in the pits for a front wing change, so losing a lot of time that we really don't need. But you know, at least we're still in the race, which is more that could be said at this stage of the race last time at Baku. So just have to try to make the best of it, try to pull off a bit of a comeback drive then in the second half of this race. P12 at the moment, with yeah, basically half the race to go, 15 out of the 29 laps still to go as we now start lap 14 here at Bahrain. A few more cars in the pits, so we're going to jump up to P10 now. Ryan, my future co-op teammate, being one of those cars actually in there, so he's not had the best race either, it seems. But we do have a few cars not too far ahead, so this could get pretty exciting, right? Well, shit.